Hi everyone, this is a preview video for Game Week 6. This has been a quite interesting week for us managers with a lot of crucial decisions to be made. Mendy is obviously injured and the extent of his injury is unknown, and Mkhitaryan, to the frustration of us managers, have not been starting games. Despite playing well on the games he started, Richarlison is back, and a lot of managers are already transferring him in as a Mkhitaryan or Pedro replacement. And there's this obvious question of whom to captain between Aguero and Salah. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on these questions and preview a few games. So about Mendy's replacement, if you do have a strong bench, then I would definitely suggest you bench Mendy this week and then see the extent of his injury over the next few days, and then decide to sell or keep him for another week. If you have bought him at 6 million, there is this buffer of 0.1 million, so you wouldn't lose any value selling him, obviously apart from the team value. But if you don't have a strong bench, then yeah, consider selling him. And if you're looking for options to buy, I'm myself looking at Ben Chilwell from Leicester. He has three home games in the next six. He plays Huddersfield, Everton and West Ham in the next six, and apart from the Arsenal away game, their run looks pretty neat for the next 10 game weeks. So there are clean sheets to be kept. So I'm looking myself at Chilwell and Pereira as Mendy's replacement. But if you can bench Mendy, I would suggest benching him for this week. And Richarlison is back, so I would say he's the ideal replacement for Mkhitaryan. Richarlison has a good run of games coming up, and Cenk Tosun, he's not been performing as he was expected to, so Richarlison might end up playing a striker. So that's something to watch out for. So about Mkhitaryan's replacement, I am considering Richarlison. Or if you have a million to spare, then you can look at Pogba. He scored 2 goals and assisted one midweek against Young Boys. So he's on penalties. So he could be a really interesting option if you have a million to spare after selling Mkhitaryan or Pedro. Mkhitaryan, in fact. And Ramsey is look set to start this weekend against Everton. Of course, he's not been returning any FPL points of late, but this could be his chance to repay the faith of his managers. So Arsenal has a good run of fixtures, so Ramsey is also an interesting differential choice. So Richarlison, Pogba, and Ramsey are my choices as Mkhitaryan's replacement. And there's also a talk of Kieran Trippier as Mendy's replacement. Of course, it might pay you big time, but there's also a slight risk regarding Trippier. He's obviously being rotated with Sergio Aurier, and there's also been rumors about a bust-up between him and Toby Alderweireld, and also Brighton are strong at home, and there's every chance they might score, but it could still be an excellent differential especially if you're wild carding. Trippier is an interesting option, but it's not the obvious one or the best one. But it could end up paying you dividends. And the captain option for this weekend, there's of course plenty of debate between Aguero and Salah for the armband. And Aguero just signed a new contract today, and a lot of managers are tipping him to celebrate his new contract by scoring a hat-trick against Cardiff this week. Of course, Aguero doesn't need a home game to score a hat-trick. He's good home and away. And Salah is also an interesting choice facing Southampton this week. What I think is, I watched Salah against Spurs, and he doesn't look as confident as he used to be last season. At times, he looked desperate to score, and he even had chances to score, but he looks to have a dip in form. So basically, you're choosing between a player who's on form, which is Aguero, and the player who's looking to score a goal and getting his confidence back. So, and of course, Liverpool looks like sharing goals all across the field. Like Mane, there's a chance that Mane might score. Mane might take goals of Salah as he's doing already, and there's a chance that Firmino might be back on goals. So it's a quite tricky decision considering Salah is not at his best, and Aguero looks to be confident, and in my opinion, he's the safe captain choice this week. And Salah to me is a bit tricky. But if you're really banking him to score a hat trick this week, then hope he repays you. But between Salah and Aguero, I would say Aguero. He's confident. He just signed a fresh contract, and he's been rested midweek, and he doesn't need a home game to score goals, and he's in good form. Meanwhile, Salah is looking like he's lacking confidence, and there's also a dip in his form. So Salah is almost desperate, and he might look to get in the score sheet, and he's not on penalties too. So I would say Aguero, and that's it. So good luck with your team, and may your arrows be green. Cheers. See you in the next video.